This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Your Playbook with Jay Mathis features real conversations about the ever-changing playbook of high achievers in any industry or role. Join me and my guests for unscripted, real-world conversations about what's worked, what hasn't, what they've had to unlearn, and how they adapt when conditions shift. These are candid discussions about pressure, resilience, and the discipline required to stay sharp when the game changes. Honest dialogue, real experience, practical insight you can apply immediately. Well, welcome to Your Playbook. I'm really excited to be here. My new guest is a friend that I've just known for about a year through our relationship with Sandler as franchise owner. So this is Tati, and I want her to kind of give you a little better background of her life, and then we can jump into some great conversations about sales and leadership, being an entrepreneur. So Tati, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, Jay, I'm super excited to be here. Honestly, I was looking forward to it. I know you had a busy agenda, and then finally we were able to get together.
Yep.
If I can give a little bit of myself, I may start with just letting people know that this beautiful accent of mine, it's not from any place in the US. I came from Brazil 10 years ago because my husband got transferred to the state of Michigan, where we live ever since. And back in Brazil, my career was pretty much in sales, 25, almost 30 years selling. And I was from account management to regional sales manager in IT, mainly when I was there. But then a few years before I moved here, I was running my own company, a sales training company as well. It was not Sandler. I was doing my own thing there. But when we moved, I unfortunately had to close my business. I sold the book of business, and then I followed, right? So my journey pretty much started over, as if you have in your audience or people around you that moved overseas. My journey was quite similar to these people. I had to start doing training as a 1099 in the beginning, but then I decided that it will be a disservice for me to become an entrepreneur right off the bat. So I decided to go to corporate America. I worked in some manufacturing companies. And from the last 5 years, I was with GM, with General Motors. And I joined a new career that was in human resources. Okay. Not only from the Center of Excellence training, but I was really managing teams with the sales, global sales, and global marketing with GM. And then in 2024, I found that I had enough in my toolbox. I look around and I realized that I didn't want to do this myself. And I found Sandler, that is, you are here. It's pretty much everything that we have to plug and play, have a great product, and use our network and our processes to sell. So this has been my last year. And
I love that.
4 months.
It's interesting, Tati, when you talk about coming from Brazil, and you could have, as you said, just jumped into sales training in the West here in America. But I think it's cool that it's almost like this convergence of leadership and sales experience, a lot of sales experience, but then you got to add in 5 years in HR where you're leading and training, I'm assuming, salespeople within GM. Mm-hmm. That 5 years, as you tell the story, it feels like that was like an incubator for you. Is that right? Just to kind of like be in a big corporate, of a global company like GM, not so much selling face-to-face, but really training. Was that sort of a really formative time for you, developing new skills or refining old ones?
It's the perfect take, because if you look to the sense of an incubator, I had the opportunity to do some experimentation right there, right? Through limits, right? Through the limits of being in a 500 company fortune. But I was very fortunate to be around people that were really open to experiment with what I was trying to do with them. So I was doing not only training and coaching the sales teams, but also looking from the side of performance from an insider. Yes. So this, for me, I would say that it was a game changer, because when we are training, sometimes we take the clients by the hand, we develop the process, but it's really difficult for us to really understand from where the idea of training came from. Mm-hmm. We do this as sales professionals. We dig deeper into our discovery calls. But at GM, I was able to see all the the details, the nitty gritty, everything that was really shaping the need for training right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tati, when we hear GM, common people like me just go, oh, Chevrolet, cars, right? And we think of sales, and our version of sales is I bought a car, someone sold me a car, right? You're behind the scenes type sales training and the sales that are going on there. What have you learned about sales at that level in a Fortune 500 company that maybe that you can use in your playbook in selling and training people who are going to be in different type of sales, whether it's real estate or software, that kind of thing? What are some takeaways from GM in doing that experimentation that's allowed you to, and you have moved fast, we'll talk about that in a minute, but move fast into building a clientele?
Well, one point that is important to mention, what people see, as you said, like the brands, right? Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, and GMC, and all these brands. But GM also has an arm in business to business, right? It's called GM Powered Solutions. Okay. They have GM Fleet that is also business to business. And I was overseeing all these teams. Also OnStar, they have the arms within dealers. So if I look from my playbook, what I've learned from there is that I had experimented the face of business to consumer, although the interface from the account managers with GM was with the dealers, and the dealers were facing business to consumer. But it doesn't matter right there, because the pain from the customer was coming all the way to where I was, right? But I also had the opportunity to see in this company the interface with business to business. Yeah. And if I can pick one thing that I've learned,
yeah, please.
It's all exactly the same, because people sell to people, people buy from people.
Yeah. I think Sandler even said companies don't buy anything.
People do.
People buy. People buy. The money may come from the company, but people have to make decisions. People have to be listened to. People have to, and this is true in leadership as well, right? I mean, we're talking about the human element of just walking people through a conversation, whether you're listening right now and you're a leader, not that you're selling those you're leading, but it's a kind of the psychology of just walking people through a process to get them to arrive at some conclusion, whether they're buying something or making them better leaders. That's really good. So just so people know, you came on with Sandler. When was that? When did you join the?
I signed March 17th. I started actually April 10th last year.
Okay, so 1 year. 1 year. You're our fastest growing new franchisee, probably they've had in a while. You've won multiple awards. I've seen you up on stage. It's been really exciting to watch your growth in that. And clearly, you also like you were made for this, to be honest, Tati. I mean, when I think about the global experience internationally, where you're from, GM at that level, and now you're hitting the ground running. What have you found to be those things, the disciplines that you bring to your role as a franchise owner at Sandler? What are those things that every day that they're keeping you sharp, that you put into practice?
We can start from the surface level and go to impact, right? The way we teach here. So if not the surface level, but I would say things that are not so tangible, that it's being humble, right? I am almost 52 years old woman with this experience. Like we are, right? You are, I am. And you need to keep being the student of the game. If you are not learning, and this may sound cheesy, but for me, it was my way to really speed up things, because I came with the mindset, I do not know anything. But then when we start like putting the puzzles together, you start adding your flavor. And you say, okay, I do know a little bit about this. I can speed this side of the business with the experience that I have, but I still keep my ears open to what people have to say. And to this point, I am surrounded by a strong franchisee network. And I see people from all paths in life, people that took the business in a different direction. The other thing that I did, in addition to being humble, is I know what I do not want my business to be, because the possibilities where we are so amazing that you may be chasing like the other like shining thing that is popping up in front of you. Right. And for me, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but since day one, I knew it, what I didn't want it, and I am not going there. I'm not going there because what I want, it's so many things, but I am anchoring myself in what is not for me, personally and professionally.
Yeah, and that is key. And I do think, going back to how you made that comment about your age, and I'm a little older than you, but we both have a lot of experiences in our life. And I want anybody hearing this, like, people can change directions in their 50s, right?
Oh,
They can take on something new. And it really is in taking all that they've done for 20 or 30 years and crystallizing that, as a word I heard somebody say one time, like crystallizing that into something new. And part of that is, to your point, is saying, I'm confident that that's not what I want to do in this direction. I'm confident I want to go in this direction. And that takes a lot of humility, but also takes a ton of confidence, right? To just kind of put the blinders on and go, no, I've been around the block a lot. I've done a lot of things in my career. I'm going to stay in this lane and I'm going to excel in what I'm best at. That's kind of what I'm hearing from you, that you just said.
yes.
Others saying, like, other franchisees are doing this or that, and that's great for them. But so what is that? Like, what is your lane you think you're in?
So I love what you said. Like, I've been around the block for a while, and this is the thing to anchor us. Whomever is listening to you today or in the future, it's like when you are at this age, and I am pretty sure you have an audience from all ages. But what I'm trying to say is that if you feel that you are very senior, that you are very experienced where you are, it doesn't matter, 50 years old, 30 years old. Yes, that thing is very good for you to clean up the things that do not serve you, but not to impede you to accept the new. And I know I'm not being very practical right now with what I say, but because I'm a very practical person. And answering your question is because the conversation, I don't know how long you want me to stay here, but with you, I think I'll be here for 3 hours. And people would be like, what the heck?
We're going to have a good time.
It's like a soap opera. So for me, what I do want, and if you are asking me for specifics, I want clients that are really willing to transform the teams, but I can be very specific on that.
Yeah.
When I talk to future prospects, the first thing that I ask them is that are you sending your team to training to save them or to catapult them to the next level? Do you need to transform something to better, or you want me to let you know if they are to the point of being fired? So this is one of my discovery calls question, because if they are, I would discuss, I can help you, like look into performance, because I have experience from the 500 Fortune. We can develop a performance plan. We can look into assessments. We can hire new people, but do not send people to me to be saved.
Yes. And that's, by the way, the fact that you ask them the question instead of telling them that is everything, right? Because they have to discover on their own. It's like, wait, she's asking me, do I want to excel, or I'm just saving people to keep their job, or, maybe they can be okay. Then they have to they have to really reflect and go, oh, to be honest, I'm sure you've had them say this, to be honest, those two people, they're probably not going to make it. Right. And so it's like, well, instead of investing in trying to salvage something here, that's what you're saying. Invest in growth, invest in what can be scalable.
Yes. And if you think about this, like when you have this conversation with leaders, it's like pulling a hair and finding a wig, right? Because it's like you are.
By the way, I've never heard that phrase, but I like it. I'm going to use that.
Just trying to pull a hair and you grab the whole wig.
Yes.
So this conversation with these leaders made them realize that maybe they are doing poor coaching. Maybe they should have done something before they got to this point to send people to training to save them. And this is more common than we believe.
Oh, yes.
Maybe we don't see that often because we don't ask the question. But if you ask the question, I have many clients that they send people to me to be saved. And I need to stop them and say, okay, let's have a plan here. Let's have a plan. Do things with them that I'm not able to. And then if you feel that they should stay with you, send them to me. Otherwise, just promote them to be a client.
Interesting. Yeah.
Meaning that fire them.
Yes. promote them to be a client.
I say that we promote them as clients.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, a lot of people, they need someone to let them know, hey, sales is not where you need to be, and help them excel in something else.
Yes.
Right? I mean, empower them to do something else. It is selling is difficult. It's a difficult role, and we don't just come at it naturally. I mean, some people do have giftings and kind of ways about them that do help them, but you and I both know to be great at selling, it also takes a lot training and acceptance of, I've been doing it wrong, I need to change. And so it sounds like what you're trying to say is invest in the people that are coachable and trainable, who want to excel, right?
Exactly.
Not in those who just, aren't coachable, teachable. So they've got to be that. So let me take a step back for a second. I would love to know this, because I am impressed with your success at Sandler and how you've built clienteles and done all that. But if I look at your day-to-day life, what are some of the disciplines and patterns that you do that really allow you to execute well on a daily basis? What does that look like in the world of Tati?
Yeah. And I like what you said, that selling is super difficult. Not because only of the rejection that we feel every single day and the no's and starting over. It's because we cannot rely only on our talent on being a good relationship builder or extroverted or whatever that is. It's a process, right? Yes. So I use the process that I teach on myself. But the first thing is me as a human being, and my well-being is something that I do not neglect, Jay. I work out in the morning, and I'm not telling people they should do that. I'm just saying, you ask me directly, right? Sure. This is my routine. I work out in the morning. I have lunchtime. I never neglect the fact that I have to stop to eat. Okay. Because for me, this is time gain, not time lost, right?
Yep.
So things with me as a person, I don't neglect time with my family. I work long hours, but I am finding ways to balance this. But if you think about the first mindset that I had when I bought the franchise was, I still have a boss, and I literally have this written in front of me in my computer in my office. This is the place that I teach. I still have a boss. So I behave as if somebody would ask me at the end of the day, what did I do?
It's good. That's good. By the way, do you keep metrics of what you do during the day? I made these calls, or I saw this many people, or I had this kind of meeting. Do you track some of that?
I do.
Okay.
And I use HubSpot very heavily.
Good.
So I have a bunch of workflows for myself that is going to trigger things for me. I am learning more and more how to use AI to really save me time. And I am doing that. And everything that I do, and it's another behavior, right? This is a behavior.
Yep.
When I open my browser, the first thing that pops up is HubSpot. And then I don't forget to open it up. And then I know a lot of people say that they don't like CRMs. It's a waste of time. Okay, I got it. But this is from the 80s. Okay. Right. CRMs saves us time. Maybe if you are not putting your data there for 6 years, it's going to take you a long time to catch up, right?
Yep, sure.
But when it's there, and this is the way I do, my tasks are in there, and I have my calendar blocked by color. Yes. Wow. I color code my calendar. This way, at the end of the week, I know where I put my time. So I know how much training, how much networking, just by looking at it.
Yep.
So
I see what you're saying. You color code if it's a prospecting call or if it's a training session.
Yes.
Or whatever. Okay, good.
Networking, there's another color, and my preparation has another color because we need to put time to prep, right? To prep for a session. I like to be at least 30 minutes before each session right here where I am. So I get into the mood. I think about the client, and I keep thinking what they are going to bring to me that day. So pretty much to say that I follow a routine as if I was in an actual office with somebody looking over my shoulder.
It's just the problem is you're the one looking over your own shoulder, right? Exactly. So you're the boss of yourself in that. I'm curious, as people hear you talk, And I use HubSpot as well. I think you leverage it far better than I do. And of course, we have tools like Fathom AI. And for anybody listening, the more we integrate AI into our CRMs, you're right, it accelerates what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But in light of that, as part of your work, is what percentage is virtual, these type meetings? And do you have many meetings out? I know you're in the Michigan area, you have clients probably all over. So what's your balance there of virtual versus in person?
Well, training, it's been 95% virtual, but I have GM, for example, as my client now, and they require me to go in person. We had an agreement that I would go like first thing in the morning. And if I have to stay there for a meeting, it's fine too. So I don't lose the time for driving, but
Right.
95, it's virtual. Meetings with clients, I always request the fulfillment meeting to be in person. I like to do discovery call in person for the people who are listening to us and they are not your clients yet. So discovery call will be the first call that we are chatting there, trying to get to know if there's a need, if there's not a need. And I ask to be in person too. But some people, they are used to, they say, let's do virtual. But when I go to present a possible solution, my requirement, it is in person, unless they are in Upper Peninsula, that is 6 hours from here.
Okay.
Other than that, I am going to be in person. And maybe this is going to be the only meeting in person, but it changes so much. It changes everything when people just see that you are a human being.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, you build the trust, and then you can handle. I do kickoffs in person too. Like when I am launching a group, I ask if they have people all in Michigan, because, for example, I train Stellantis as well, and Stellantis is all over. But they had a kickoff in person when we started. It was a coincidence. They had like their start of the year kickoff, and then I joined them to get to know everybody in person.
Yep. It's good. Yeah, it's interesting. I was with a guy just this morning. We could have done it virtually, but we're going to meet at a coffee shop. And it was interesting that the coffee shop is too full, so we had to meet at a different coffee shop, and it was raining. There's the hassle factor. But he and I both said, even with all that hassle, right, sitting down for 30 minutes over coffee accelerates the relationship.
So much.
Solutions, everything about it. We bumped into other people we knew. It was so engaging. And maybe we don't see each other much as, very often from here on.
Mm-hmm.
But we've laid that groundwork. Really, really key, I think, when we're talking about, building particularly those sales relationships, but also just in leadership. Right? If I'm trying to lead people, lead my teams. The longer I'm in business doing what I do, and you're probably seeing this as well, like the convergence of leadership and sales, that the skills they overlap so much. And this is not traditionally said. People always say, well, you're a good salesperson, then you get skills for leadership. But I don't know about you, but the overlap is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to really be a trusted advisor, instead of just someone hustling products and services, then we are also going to take on the same traits as great leaders have,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Solving problems and so forth. So let me ask you, which I think is just, I think Sandler's wired for this as well. So on that note, like when you think about your first year, what are some kind of, things have evolved in and grown in just in the last year being an entrepreneur? What are some surprises for you too, that like your qualities you're taking on, skills you're taking on, you didn't even expect in this season of life?
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is a very profound question. Very good one.
I like to be profound. Yes.
Wow, super. Yes. Well, I would say that first of all, I realized that I am totally and absolutely a people person. And let me put it this way. Because I started my career in sales, and I always been there until I got here, that I was doing, because even as an entrepreneur in Brazil, I was selling, right? I had salespeople, but I was selling too. And then I stayed a little bit on the sales side from HR. It's natural for salespeople to keep thinking, am I in the right career? It's because I don't know how to do other things. And maybe because I don't have talent to be an engineer. So then I'm now seeing myself in sales. And I had this debate with myself too. And at the season of life, I just realized that sales is my place to be, because I am a people person, but I am not a people person that is like the super extroverted, talkative. I can be, but I like the fact that I am interfacing people every single day.
Yes.
So this year was a pleasure to me, because every single day, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a day, I am sitting with a human being.
Yes.
So this is the thing that I discover, and I materialized, and it's really solidified that it is for me. And I don't know, I think the thing that it was not so great, but I find when I am having this kind of interaction with people from the network, is that working alone, it's bad for me. Like, I feel sometimes that I need to be part of a team, and I need to find more ways to be part more of the franchisee team, because otherwise, I don't know, maybe one day I say, I'm going back to GM because I want to be part of a team. Right. So yeah, this is a confliction.
That is a big deal. And that kind of gets into sort of quality of life, what we want to do in our last 5, 10, 15 years of a career.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe it's less about money and cash flow and more about, like I said, quality of work life. And so you're like me. I mean, I'm actually at a remote place, but I have an office at home. I'm doing a lot of virtual stuff, and I think we both get energy from people.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so we hope you don't go back to GM. We want you to stay with Sandler, but it's interesting. You're already feeling that. Like, how do I replicate what you had at GM, going to the office and all the hundreds of people, and to what you're doing now? Are you experimenting with ways to get around not just sales calls and training, but other groups of people, like as far as like Chamber of Commerce or things like that?
Yes. Last year, I participated on a lot of different chambers, and this was another learning. Thank you for reminding me that. Yeah. This year, I am part of 2 chambers and one very solid leadership group.
Good.
And then I'm concentrating myself on it. So I am being energized by the fact that I am an ambassador for one of the chambers. I am sponsoring very heavily the other one. And then I also, I'm part of this group that meets every Wednesday. And then we go in person 2 times a year to a conference. I am experimenting being connected to what will look like a team this way. And the other thing, Jay, that I do a lot of volunteering work. I do a lot of this, and this is my way to find community there too, because it's something that I miss, the community side of the house.
Yeah, and you got to have that. And I would say even for the introvert, like we still, if we're going to be helping advise and guide people through sales and leadership, we've got to keep strengthening our ability to engage with people. I saw you're at Wings of Hope. It's a nonprofit. Looks like y'all went to and helped sponsor, and you and your husband were there. And so you find those things. We saw the pictures online. I've seen your other pictures of doing things. So I think it's so critical for us because I talk about kind of the human side of performance, the business side of performance. It's metrics, it's skill, it's tactical things we do, but that human side, and this is where I think we kind of future-proof ourselves against the AI takeover, right?
Yes.
And because AI is going to do a lot. I mean, it's going to replace a lot of current jobs, but it's not going to be able to replace what we're talking about right now. That ability to do that and to engage with people. So we had to figure out how to do it, whether we're an extrovert or an introvert as well. When I talk to people, I like to talk to high achievers, and you clearly are in that. Let's just take a little turn and talk about Sandler and sales training. I love the methodology of Sandler. People are going to think, I'm about to do a commercial for Sandler, but we do have a vested interest in Sandler.
Yes.
But I am running into more and more people, surprisingly to me, that after all the years of sales training that's been out there, that so many people haven't learned some of these fundamentals of engaging with people, qualifying prospects. How do we walk into that process? What have been the big parts of Sandler methodology that you're it's like you're seeing the need for it all the time. Like upfront contracts is one. I just like, what, like, why aren't people doing this? What are the aha moments for you over the last year where you're like, oh, I can't believe people aren't trained on this already? Are there any of that methodology?
Yes, it's for me, what is the big aha with Sandler that I became super surprised because I bought the franchise. You know a lot about the brand, but then when you start like doing, and I do myself, like you do yourself, we walk the walk. We don't just talk the talk. We are there selling and applying what we are facilitating. I don't like the word teaching because we talk to adults. They have their experiences. But for me, Sandler is basic with the structure. So for me, it's structurizing the basics.
Yes.
If you think about upfront contract, that is simply like a step-by-step to making sure that people are relaxed in front of you, that you know what you are going to talk about. Everybody has a part on it. And then you are going to agree if you are following to do something else, a clear future commitment. Yep. How basic is this?
It should be everyday conversation, to be honest.
Exactly.
I find myself, when we say upfront contracts, of course, you and I are talking about purpose, agenda, time, and outcome, right? Just kind of walking through that. But I'm finding I do it in personal relationships as well. Nonprofit work I do. In fact, I just had a client, they're a police department. It has nothing to do with sales, but I'm training them on upfront contracts, because it makes sense. It's every day. What has been the thing that's hardest for people in the sales process? What are you finding their biggest challenge in trying to be great salespeople? Where are people getting stuck, do you think?
This is a good one, because if you think about the whole thing, for me is stubbornness and the biases from our brains. For me, this is the biggest, I would say, experience and things that I've seen with my clients throughout this year. A lot of people get it, but then they just believe that their ways are better, so they refuse to try. But when they try, they just get into the conclusion of what I just said. You are doing what you were doing before, but now you are aware.
Yes.
And awareness controls the process. Because let me give you an example. I may be talking to a very experienced account manager, and then this person has been like successful, sometimes ups, sometimes downs, the way we see. And then when I teach upfront contract, when I facilitate upfront contract, the person's, well, I do this. I really do this, but it didn't have this name. And then I ask, how many times this week? How many meetings did you have? Oh, I had 5. How many times this five meetings you used what we call upfront contract? Once. Why you didn't use the other times?
Right.
I don't know. You just start a conversation and you don't put see, it's just like what we give to them is a structure to be repeatable. Because you, like me, you may have lots of great deals that you closed, but then when you look back, even the good ones, you think like, how did I get it? You don't know how to repeat.
I know, it's so true. And by the way, what I find is when those upfront contracts, when we train it, I always have to tell people, look, I'm going to show you how they use this, but this could last 2 minutes, or you can do it in 15 seconds. In other words, but this is what I think we need to remind ourselves is that when we give people expectations, it's not the structure part. It's what we're doing for them. We're disarming them. We're making them comfortable. We're making them go, oh, so this is what we're going to do for the next 30 minutes. Yeah, it's not high pressure. This could go of one of two ways, and I'm okay with either way. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, well then let's talk about my challenges. Let's talk about what's worked and what hasn't. So I think it's masterful when we can we start using our own language and how we get there. So I thought when you said that, one thing I thought you were going to say, stubbornness is so true. They're biased. I think the whole issue of just talking about money still is hard for a lot of people. You know,
Oh yeah.
Cost, investment, fees. and I don't know if that's what, I mean, what have been things you've done to help people talk about that most awkward conversation of money, investment, cost?
May I say, just talk?
Say it
So
again.
just talk.
Just talk.
No,
Just talk about it.
the
Yeah.
process, right? When we get to the money topic, you have done so many other things until getting there.
Yes.
So there's so many things. It's what you said when you were talking about the upfront contract. There's so many things that you did before asking about money. Could have last 3 meetings, 2 meetings, 30 seconds, whatever that is. But you don't jump and say, Jay, can you open your wallet to me?
Right.
So
Right.
the way I facilitate this for them, I say, you got to do the process. You got to build the trust. You need to make the person feel that they are not cornered. You are not going to threaten them to close anything with you. Then you need to let them talk about what matters to them.
Yes.
And then you can completely say, you know what? Oh, my beautiful background is done now. You know what? I have to ask you that because you gave me so much so far. Thank you, Mr. Prospect, Miss Prospect. To avoid wasting our time, I need to ask you, are you ready to invest? Do you have the budget to invest? And you just anchor the question on something that is important to the person. You don't say, you know what, my boss asked me to ask you, or I need to know if you have money to hire me.
Yes.
It's not about me,
Yes.
right?
That's exactly right. You connect that. Hey, these are the challenges you want to uncover. Is there a budget set aside for that? Just tell me.
And justify saying that this question is to help me to help you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run away if you tell me that the budget is going to come next year. We are going to agree that I may be back next year, right?
Yes.
My thing is so beautiful that I am going to turn back.
Oh, it's back on. So nice. I'm actually, okay, this side note here. So you're in your office. I've seen you kind of walk me around with your camera in your office. Got a great setup there. And by the way, y'all should follow Chachi on LinkedIn. She has great stuff. That could be a whole nother conversation. Your whole marketing of what you do. I think it's tremendous. Thank you for doing it. You elevate, honestly, all of us at Sandler when you do that. And so you're doing a good job. So follow her on that. But I'm actually at what's called McLean Stadium in Waco, Texas. A little shout out to Baylor and McLean Stadium. So here, I just got to show you where I'm at. So I'm actually
my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah. So
do you work from there all the time?
And they let me use one of the suites. I should give a shout out to Parsons Roofing. I'm actually in a suite up here.
And you are all green, matching with the.
I know. I even happen to wear my sport coat that's green. So it's just kind of works well being at Baylor to do this. So I want to talk about one other thing this is it. This may get a little. It's kind of personal, but I think people find this interesting. So 2 things. You're from Brazil. You're in America. Strong accent, great accent. I've been to Brazil once. By the way, when we went to Brazil, we are in the airplane and we can see the lights of Sao Paulo, right? That's a big city there. The time it took to still get to there and fly over it's the biggest city I've ever seen, right? It's like 20, 30 million people, massive, very spread out. Then we spent some time. It was a kind of a mission trip. My son was with me and we went to some children's places, kind of there or more out away from there, but just loved it. The drive to get there, very beautiful. So here's a term that a lot of people use called imposter syndrome. So you're from another country, you have an accent, female. I think people would find it interesting. How does being an entrepreneur, training a diversity of people with your accent, have there been any roadblocks? Do you think it's been an advantage? Or what have you had to overcome, if anything? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Well, thank you for asking that, because not a lot of people have the courage to ask.
Well, I'll just roll the dice and see what we get.
Yeah. It's like, do we have to cut this?
Hey, listen, we're trained at Sandler to ask awkward question. I thought you would be okay talking about.
I am okay. Yes. That's because, we in the end, everybody's different, right? Well, one thing that plays in my advantage, it's because I am difficult to miss.
Okay.
So I am a 5'2" woman with this hair, this accent.
Yeah.
My name is Russian. My last name is Italian. I was born in Brazil. I live in Michigan. It's impossible to
Say
miss.
your full name for us. Say your full name for us.
Tatiana Botta.
Oh, Tatiana Botta. Okay.
Mhm.
Very good.
I make Tati because people struggle a lot with Tatiana. They struggle with Tati as well, but Tati is less awkward, and it's shorter. So they are well, now I don't know the words, but making them feel bad is just for a short period of time.
Right. No, it's good.
So this is an advantage, but yes, I don't have imposter syndrome, but I am self-aware, right? And I know that I am not for everybody because yes, people judge. People believe sometimes that because I have an accent, I may not be smart enough. And I could sugarcoat this and say this does not happen, but it does. So yes, I had a bunch of like people.
They make an assumption that your accent itself goes like she either doesn't understand us or doesn't know. Like they're just okay.
Yes. And it's honestly at this point of my life, the only thing that I can say is that it's they or miss. Let me show you something.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can turn this because people think that I am not smart enough.
See there? I think you're plenty smart. There you go. I love it.
It's the amount of time that I spent studying. It's insane. And it's not because I want to look smarter. It's because I am.
Yeah, I like that. So I don't want to look smarter. I am smarter, and I keep getting smarter in that. And I think you have to just, there's always naysayers, right? There are always the critics. It's like, you just press on. So you seem to have this, I love the word resilience. You have this resilience like, all right, I shut down my operation in Brazil. Now, did y'all come to did your husband go to work over here? Is that what got y'all here to America?
Yes.
Okay.
He's 29 years with GM.
With GM. And he's for those, he's in the design side. So he's designing cars and all that kind of cool stuff. And so I mean, you could have just kind of crumbled a little bit like, I've got this, but you're a very resilient person just at your core, right? I mean, just like you just knock down the doors ahead of you and do that. Have you felt like being from another country, being a female, having an accent, does that sort of just amp you up a little bit to go, you know what? I'm not going to let those things hold me back. Is that kind of your MO?
I think it comes from childhood upbringing that maybe it's a different podcast, right? So it was kind of a tough moment, years of my life. And I think it shapes the way I see things. Yes, when you move to a different country, you need to prove yourself way more. Sure. So I am a Latina, so women, which is even, we know that. And again, I don't feel like less victim, but let's face it. This is the reality. Let's not.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, right? And by the way, this is one of there's a little piece of what you asked me that I'll be talking on my TEDx, my first TEDx.
Good.
Days from now, May 1st.
Yeah, good.
So I talk a little bit about how I really jumped from being completely invisible in a new country with this tone of experience, but really didn't matter because no one knew who I was, to where I am now. And the whole thing is about serving others. And I think this is what is different. And I think people should do. Instead of asking, you should start serving, giving your time and asking, how can I help? Yeah. And build trust, no matter the accent or with the right people, right? Because some people, it's just not for me and I'm not for them. And it's okay.
Yeah, I've met you once in person, and it was great. You are 5'2", see, you're shorter. And so, but I'd like to think we've evolved as a culture, that some of those things that used to divide us don't anymore. But to your point, I do think we talk about AI and all its changes. If people want to be AI proofed, right, against that, then serving others, empathy, getting to know people, you and I talking, and there's no barrier here. I'm born and raised in Waco, Texas. I'm about as white as they come. I mean, I can't change who I am. I mean, I am who I am. I love my heritage, love where I came from and all that kind of stuff. But we're not intended to stay in those little bubbles. We're intended to break out of that and see humanity the way it should be. And so I appreciate that about you. Yes, we should do another podcast and talk all about that. I think we'll have other chances to talk. And I think there may be an opportunity to take a deep dive more into Sandler methodology, because you and I both know in our first year or two, some of us, for both of us, probably it's like every day is a bit of an awakening. Like, oh,
it's incredible.
Oh, I see this more. And by the way, this would be an interesting conversation too. I'm helping a company to design an activity point tracking system that I used to use in the insurance business. And even that, like bringing in Sandler ideas with what I've done in the past and seeing people's lights come on, like light bulbs, like, oh, like I can track these things and these activities, and it'll make it'll grow your sales. So I think we have a lot we can talk about. On a lighter note, I did show McLean Stadium. I couldn't get where I am at a shot of the silos, but that's how you and I started talking. You stopped by the silos, didn't you?
We did.
I told you my little brush with greatness because I did Chip and Joanna's wedding 20 years ago. And so it's kind of fun. Here you are meeting someone from Brazil. Yes. We have a little connection with the silos. So, hey, come back and see us in Texas.
I will.
Too. And we'll meet you at the silos and have a cup of coffee. But
yes, I will. Can I show you something that just arrived this morning?
Yeah, please do.
It was like this morning. You were the first one to see it.
Yes. Rookie of the year. They just got it. Way to go. I love that.
I'm waiting for the other one, but they told me they are producing. But this arrived. It's heavy. This is why I think they don't give us during the conferences, because it's heavy.
That's the real deal.
It's a real deal. Yes.
I did not get Rookie of the Year last year. So I'm so proud of you for doing that. A little star award.
Rising star stuff.
Keep hustling. Keep running fast. I'm going to give you the last word on this podcast. Just give us a strong takeaway. What's your takeaway from this discussion, or just what you would want people to kind of encourage us as we go out?
What I can say, it couldn't be simpler than that. In the end, it's all about people. It's all about being human and really recognizing that people do not give us things that they don't have. So let's be more empathetic and understand that we need to meet people where they are. And if they don't want to meet us, it's fine. So sales goes around this for me. You are there to offer something. People are there to listening to you and come together to see if you are going to work together or not. And everything goes back to humanity. And when you talked about AI, I really believe, and you may agree with me, everything returns, right? So now we are wearing the same pants that we were wearing the 70s, and then all those super gigantic things from the 80s. Yeah. And we are going to get into the point that we are going to realize that, yes, AI will serve us in many things. We should not be scared of it because it's not replacing humans.
That's exactly
right. Yeah. The people who has the humanity on them, they are going to be like the big deal, the real deal.
They are going to be the real deal because the Optimus robot that Elon invented couldn't have done this interview with you. So it's a little different. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. If y'all want to follow Tatia on LinkedIn, TATIA.
Yeah, just TATI there. And
TATI. You can find her on LinkedIn. She's with Sandler. Follow her post. Does a great job there. And thanks again so much for our visit. Maybe we'll do this again down the road.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, Jay.
It was fun. Have a good day. See you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. They'll just clip it there. So that's great. That was a lot of fun. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I think it's and use it however you want. We'll use it as well. There'll be someone from Rogue will probably pull out 2 or 3 clips that I'll probably show you. Can forward those. And I'll use it. We can both use it to promote what we do and however we want to do that. So
yes, and when you post anything, I think you were going to send the material to me, but when you post, tag me.
I'll
And
always
I'm gonna, like, share as much as I can to have people like finding you in the beautiful state of Texas.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, it's good to visit. We'll talk. Sometime we ought to just have a meeting, just kind of talk about, hey, what kind of deals we're working on. This is be an interesting conversation because to talk about, like, I just had a deal today that I've got a client that hired me to do one thing, and now another department for the company is hiring me as well. And we're modifying certain things, but it's kind of getting exciting to just see how we take Sandler methodology and all that it is, and then just help discover ways to use it with our clients. That's been the big takeaway for me. That it's not just start a class, put people in it. I'm doing that, but also, so that'll be a good conversation down the road.
Anytime.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
Bye.
Your Playbook is powered by Sandler, a global provider of sales and leadership methodology backed by data-driven solutions designed for measurable, continued success. Check out Sandler.com. And a big shout out to Rogue Media Network.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.